This program contains rare films of World War II originally shot in color, found during a 2-year worldwide search. Much of it has never been seen on television before. These films are presented now in high definition. Some images are graphic in nature, and viewer discretion is advised. Previously, on World War II in HD.
Bullets jet 6 inches to my left, 6 inches to my right, and I swear I can reach out and touch 100 of them.
Journalist Robert Sherrod storms the beaches of Tarawa with the Marines and barely survives the bloodiest battle of the Pacific so far.
It's hard to stomach. I count at least 100 dead Marines, but they just keep coming.
Meanwhile, in the European theater,
soldiers, sailors, and airmen, you are about to embark upon the Great Crusade.
Lieutenant Charles Scheffel prepares for the ultimate test of his young military life, D-Day.
Our division is going to go in the second wave. Waiting to go into battle is sometimes as tough as the fight itself.
The eyes of the world are upon you. We will accept nothing less than full victory.
I think everybody was asking, how in the hell did I ever get in this situation? And how do I survive it?
Grant us a common faith that man shall know bread and peace, that he shall know justice and righteousness, freedom and security, an equal opportunity and an equal chance to do his best, not only in our own lands, but throughout the world. I think that from the standpoint of our enemy, we have achieved the impossible. We have broken through their supposedly impregnable wall in northern France. We have established a firm foothold. True, we still have a long way to go to Tokyo, but carrying out our original strategy of eliminating our European enemy first, and then turning all our strength to the Pacific, we can force the Japanese to unconditional surrender or to national suicide much more rapidly than has been thought possible.
We're waiting for the show to start when a lieutenant makes an announcement. The invasion of Europe has begun. The sailors and Marines stand up and let out a great cheer, but it doesn't last long. They're all too worried about winning their own particular war here, half an Earth away.
Time Life magazine correspondent Robert Sherrod is on Inuitok Atoll in the Marshall Islands. After his harrowing experience covering the Marines on Tarawa, Sherrod returned to the States and spent several months working at the magazine's New York office. Now, he's back in the Central Pacific, preparing to head into action once again.
Commanding officers tell me this next operation is going to be tough. One predicts that a week from today, there will be a lot of dead Marines. I think back to Tarawa, and I'm afraid that he's probably right.
Sherrod will be landing on Saipan in the Mariana Islands, a volcanic archipelago situated only 1,300 miles south of Japan. Capturing the Marianas will allow the U.S. Army to build forward airfields within striking range of Tokyo. Flying from those fields, B-29 Super Fortress heavy bombers will be able to wage an intense and unrelenting campaign of strategic bombing that will hopefully shorten the war. The battle for Saipan is likely going to be bloody. Over 30,000 Japanese defenders are dug into the rocky ridges of the 12-mile-long island. Further complicating the situation is the presence of 30,000 native, Korean, and Japanese civilians. The Americans don't want to harm them, but modern warfare against a determined opponent may make collateral damage unavoidable.
In 4 days, we will hit the beaches of Saipan. This is by far the biggest invasion yet attempted in the Pacific, and Command doesn't want to take any chances.
Sherrod is traveling with an armada of 800 ships, nearly 1,000 planes, and 127,000 Marine and Army ground troops. The assault force is nearly as large as that sent into Normandy only days earlier.
An air of quiet confidence permeates the conversation. Every man considers the possibility of death, but nobody speaks of it. Death is something that happens to the other fellow. If men don't believe that, they'll be more reluctant to go into battle. For me, I've got to concentrate on capturing the story. Zero 5:45 on the dot. The battleships, cruisers, and destroyers, already at work for 2 days, begin their final softening up of the beaches. It's thrilling to see the waves of planes appear out of the east and the north, sweep down on the island and loose their bombs. The island looks like a glowing furnace through the haze. But I fear all the smoke and the noise doesn't mean that many Japs have been killed. Men in holes are hard to hit.
At 07:45 hours, Sherrod climbs into his landing craft and prepares to head to shore. He is with the same men he followed into battle on Tarawa, the 6th Marine Regiment of the 2nd Marine Division.
These guys feel like family to me, after what we went through in Tarawa. These men are all facing a crisis such as no man should have to face often in his lifetime. Within a few minutes, they will either be dead or alive. Fate alone makes the decision. A man cannot stand it if he didn't believe that to be true. But for me, that old feeling of anxiety is still here. I can't help but wonder, will I ever see this ship again? Will I ever make it all the way down that long, watery road from ship to shore?
The battle's been going on all afternoon. Destroyers and cruisers are pouring shells toward the shore. I can feel the rumbling every time they hit.
Two days after the initial Normandy landings, First Lieutenant Charles Scheffel and the 39th Infantry Regiment are on a transport ship in the English Channel. The Oklahoman is one of 250,000 troops scheduled to land in the 48 hours since the invasion began. Their mission is to reinforce the beachhead and push into the interior.
Enemy artillery just blew 2 of our landing craft right out of the water. Soldiers on nearby ships scramble over the sides and down nets into landing boats bobbing in the waves.
Through my field glasses, I could watch the battle. And while I'm standing there on the side of the deck with a sergeant, and here come this Messerschmitt flying over. He's standing right there next to the rail.